I only want one thing. I want Americans to be treated the same way as citizens in other countries by our own American companies.
This woman is Vani Hari. She's fighting back against big food corporations. She's also known as the Food Babe. There she is testifying at a Senate roundtable led by Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson. And this is all part of an effort to bring awareness to what is really in the food we eat. So get this, a new report by the Wall Street Journal says the popular food dye found in Cheetos is turning live mice transparent. How does this happen? Well, the dye alters the optical qualities of the skin, which allows light to pass through. And researchers are now looking at ways to test the dye on humans, as they believe it could one day be used as a good medical tool for drawing blood. But it has some wondering, should we be eating it? So joining us now to talk more is New York Times bestselling author Vani Hari, also known as the Food Babe. Hey there, Vani, great to see you.
Great to see you too. Yes, we really should not be eating this substance. This is tartrazine. This is made from petroleum-based dye. This is something, obviously, that's doing something crazy in mice, but also is doing terrible things to our children's brains. This chemical, yellow number 5, which it's commonly known as, you can find in Cheetos, Doritos, and popular cereals that are targeting children like Fruit Loops. And in Europe, if you use one of these chemicals, they require a warning label that says may cause adverse effects on activity and attention in children. They warn the public before somebody buys one of these products with these dyes, before they consume them. So right here in the United States, we don't do that. And so one of the things that I have been so vocal about for over 10 years now, and I had the opportunity last week in the Senate to talk to the leaders of this country and the leaders of this world about this issue, is that American companies, because of these other regulations in other countries, they've voluntarily taken out a lot of these problematic chemicals, and they've re-engineered their food. They've figured out how to make it taste the same and look the same, and they are creating the same exact product with one set of ingredients that's safer for countries overseas and a different one for Americans that's more toxic and frankly more poisonous for our population. One great example of this is actually Fruit Loops here in the United States.
Ronnie, I'm going to stop you right there because I want to go in a quick order. So let me just backtrack a little bit. You and I know each other because you used to take my fitness classes when we were young little things in our 20s, when you were sort of getting started on your health and fitness journey. You were sick as a child. You were on all sorts of prescription drugs. And finally, you sort of hit rock bottom. And now you're so passionate about this. And it shines through in all your New York Times bestselling books as well. During your testimony there on the Hill that we were showing, you compared the U.S. version of McDonald's French fries to the UK. So why is it that America's version is unhealthier in your eyes?
Yeah, so there's 11 ingredients here in the US. There's 3, and salt is optional in the UK and other countries. Here in the United States, it contains an ingredient that you would find in silly putty. It's called dimethyl polysiloxane. And according to FDA papers, it can be preserved with formaldehyde or neurotoxin. That dimethyl polysiloxane also has TBHQ, I believe, too, which isn't even listed on your screen here, but is one of the other chemical preservatives that you would find. And so this is stuff that basically allows fast food places to keep the oil longer, and they don't have to change it out as often. And so it acts as a preservative. And so this is something that they make more money here in the United States, and they have the opportunity to do that because our FDA is asleep at the wheel. And in the UK, they prohibit these ingredients. So this is why they don't use it there. I think Americans should have the same safer version of all products, especially considering these are our own American companies.
Okay, well, let's move on to Kellogg's because I know you wanted to get there. You recently started a petition for Kellogg's to drop the artificial food dyes there and BHT that they use in American products, but not in other countries. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. There's over 170,000 signatures on my petition right now to ask Kellogg's to drop the dyes. They don't use this in other countries, like in all of Europe, in Canada, in Australia, in India, we even found out. They are using these dyes, though, for American children. We know they can make these cereals without it because they're already doing. They don't have to reinvent the wheel. And the worst part, they told us in 2015 that they were going to remove these dyes, as well as the endocrine disrupting chemical BHT, which acts as a preservative in their product. And they never did.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.